On the C3 June 2016 paper, we're on question 7, and first you've got to sketch the graph of arc sine x. This is just something you need to remember. The graph looks something a bit like this. We only need to go from minus pi by 2 to pi by 2, and x from minus 1 to 1. So that will get you your 2 full marks. In part B, we need to work out the exact value for 3 lots of g of x plus 1. So that's arc sine x plus 1 plus pi equals 0. In other words, arc sine x plus 1 is minus pi by 3. So now we do the sine of both sides. So x plus 1 is the sine of minus pi by 3. The sine of minus pi by 3 is minus root 3 over 2, so x is minus 1 minus root 3 over 2. For question 8, the left hand side is 2 cot 2x plus tan x. So 2 cot 2x is 2 over tan 2x. The formula for tan 2x is 2 tan x over 1 minus tan squared x, so that the denominator flips to the top, plus tan x. Let's put everything over 2 tan x, so it's 2 minus 2 tan squared x plus 2 tan squared x. Obviously they cancel out, so we're left with 2 divided by 2 tan x. 2 divided by 2 is 1, so that's 1 over tan x, and 1 over tan x is cot x. Proof complete. In 8 part B, we've got 6 cot 2x plus 3 tan x is cosec squared x minus 2. So we know that, well, 3 is a factor, so it's 2 cot 2x plus tan x equals cosec squared x minus 2. We've just proved that 2 cot 2x plus tan x is cot x, so it's 3 cot x is cosec squared x minus 2. It says hence or otherwise, so there presumably is another way of doing it, but the hence is almost certainly going to be easier. So the hence bit means we've replaced that part by this part because we've used the answer in part A. Now 1 plus cot squared is cosec squared, so 3 cot x is 1 plus cot squared x minus 2. So we can get a quadratic equation, cot squared x minus 3 cot x minus 1 equals 0. This is obviously a quadratic in cot x. I don't think it factorises, so cot x is minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So that's 3 plus or minus root 13 over 2. So that means that tan x is 2 over 3 plus or minus root 13, which means that x is 0.294 or minus 1.277. We need 3 decimal places. And then obviously we need to think about the other versions. If we add pi to minus 1.277, you get 1.865. And I think we're going to need to take away pi from 0.294. That's minus 2.848. And there's the 4 answers. Finally, question 9. We've got the equation x equals dE to the minus 0.2t. and the first dose is 15 milligrams, and we're asked what the amount is after 4 hours. So if T equals 4 and D equals 15, we get X is 15 multiplied by e to the minus 0.8, which works out to be 6.740, 3 decimal places. Now in part B we've got to work out how much is in the bloodstream 2 hours after the second dose is given. So that's 7 hours after the first dose is given. So X is 15 times e to the, and then it's 7, so it's minus 1.4. That's for the first dose, plus then the second dose of 15, and that's going to be multiplied by e to the, and then it's 2 hours, so it's minus 2 times 0.2 is 0.4. So just to reiterate, this is the first dose, 7 hours, 7 times 0.2. This is the second dose, 2 hours, 2 times 0.2. And this works out to be 13.754. 13.754, 3 decimal places. So now let's consider part C. Let's draw a little timeline to show what happens. We start there, and after 5 hours another dose is given. So there's 5 from there to there, and then it's T from there to here. So the first dose has been going for 5 plus T. The second dose has just been going for T. So the total amount, which we're told is 7.5, consists of the first dose and the second dose. Well, the first dose is 15 multiplied by e to the minus 0.25 plus t. And then we've got to add on the second dose, so that's 15 again, e to the minus 0.2, and the second dose has only been going for t hours, so therefore it's just that. So now we need to solve this equation. Let's multiply out 0.2 times 5. So this is e to the minus 1 minus 0.2t. We can split that up. So it's 7.5 times 15 times e to the minus 1 times e to the minus 0.2t plus 15 e to the minus 0.2t. So 15 e to the minus 0.2t is a factor, and we're left with 1 over e plus 1. So now we need to solve this equation. I think I'll need to write this on a new slide. There it is. So let's divide both sides by 15. So I'm going to get 1/2 is e to the minus 0.2t 1 over e plus 1. So therefore e to the minus 0.2t is 1 over 2 lots of 1 over e plus 1. Now the inverse of e is ln, so minus 0.2t is ln of 1 over 2 lots of 1 over e plus 1. So therefore t is, divide both sides by minus 0.2, so that's minus 5 ln 1 over 2 over 1 over e plus 1. Now the minus 5 is quite useful, sorry, the minus sign is quite useful because the minus can come inside and we get the reciprocal of this. So t equals 5 ln 2 times 1 over e plus 2. And that's your answer. If that's too much in one go, just to remind you what I did, that minus sign means that we can get the reciprocal of this. So it's just 2 lots of 1 over e plus 1, 2 times 1 over e, 2 over 3, 2 times 1 is 2. And the minus sign made the whole lot easier. And that's in the format they wanted. And that's the end of the paper.